Hello everyone. So I'm coming to you today with a somewhat surprising collection of candles here. As you can see, this is a grouping of the spring and summer test scents or just standard collection of candles from Bath & Body Works White Barn Candle Company. The surprising part of it is that I'm doing this and going through some spring and summer candles while it's actually the holidays. You can see I've got some Christmas lights going there, so it's kind of odd to be going through these now. These are from a test store, so it does make sense that they're in early, but from my memory, this seems like it's pretty much the earliest that they've come out with spring and even some true legit summer releases quite this early, even in test stores. I think it's usually been more like January, and then for releases that go wide in maybe March or even into May. So it's sort of surprising to see some of these. We certainly would expect to get the spring, sort of floral candles, but to see some of these summer ones surprised me. So the way I'm going to do this is I've got 3 separate videos, 3 collections here. In each of the videos I'll run through quickly all 12 candles, and then we'll highlight one collection in each of the videos. So this first video I will highlight the top row you see here, which there's no official marketing or floor set names for the collections at this point. But I refer to this one as the Southern California Retro line, just based on the photos they're using and the types of scents and candles in the collection, and the font on there seems kind of like retro, Southern California in the 1960s or something like that to me. So in the entire grouping here, we've got Beach Cabana, Poolside, Coconut Leaves, Palm Beach Cooler, Lily Pond, White Barn No. 3 Renew and Refresh, Garden Freesia, Green Grass, First Bloom, Melon, Garden Bouquet, and Lemon Mint Leaf. So you see it's a mix of returning favorites and new scents. They've got them broken down into Bath & Body Works and White Barn Candle Company. There's nothing Slatkin here, which is not entirely surprising. We've seen a slow transition away from using the Slatkin name. One collection had it, 2 collections didn't in the fall and winter holiday collections, and here there's no mention of Slatkin on the lids, on the labels, anywhere across the line from the 3 lines that are out right now. So I'm considering this one on the top, the Southern California Retro Beach line. Then we've got the more floral White Barn Candle Company line, and then at the bottom it's sort of a revamp of the Market collection, the Fresh Market collection from last year that was Slatkin, but it seems to be a little bit wider than just Market Juicy fruit collection. It's got some florals in there as well. So we'll go through all of that in the other videos as well, but right now we're just focusing on the top 4. So we've got Beach Cabana, Poolside, Coconut Leaves, and Palm Beach Cooler. Now, with these collections, I will tell you that the test store did have other candles. I just didn't purchase all of them because I had no desire or need for some of them at this point. And there were 10 candles in this top collection. There were, I think, 8 in the middle White Barn collection, and then 7 in the bottom sort of Fresh Market revamp collection. The candles in the top Southern California Retro collection were Palm Beach Cooler, the returning Pink Sangria, returning Island Margarita, returning Bahama Fizz, returning Tiki Beach, the ever-returning, never-going-away Caribbean Escape, also Peach Bellini, Beach Cabana, Coconut Leaves, and Poolside that you see here. Now with those, it's weird to me, there's some true legit summer scents in there where last spring they had the lines where they had some sort of tropical escape drinks collection candles, but they're beachside, the Beach Cabana, true Coconut Leaves even, true like summery, straight up summer ones came a bit later in the year, so it's a bit odd that they're releasing them so early now, but maybe there'll be a delayed release to all stores nationwide, I don't know. But this collection is sort of wide encompassing. It's a mix of tropical, the drinks, a little bit of everything, so I think it's going to be a bigger collection than sort of the 4 or 5 collections they had last year. I think there may just be, maybe 3 large ones this year round, or this time around. So, of course, the returning favorites all were the same that they always were. Maybe some different colored waxes throughout there, Pink Sangria or Bahama Fizz. Specifically, Bahama Fizz was a pinkish red color compared to last year's, I think, bluish color. And it smelled a little bit less artificial banana to me this year compared to last year, so that may be good or bad depending what you like in that candle. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, but it had a bad burn. Tiki Beach is the same. Caribbean Escape, I think it's a little ridiculous, quite honestly, that's coming out again. It's been out over and over again, and it's actually currently in the Around the Globe collection, the World collection, as Caribbean Escape. I think they call it, whatever, coconuts and something. I actually didn't purchase that because I've had it so often that I don't have a desire for it at this point. So I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're releasing that again. Literally right now in test stores you can get 2 different versions of Caribbean Escape. Same thing with Peach Bellini. Peach Bellini was out in the spring line last year and sold all summer. They released it in the sort of Twinkling Light collection for holiday this year, currently in stores. And it's coming back again as Peach Bellini in this new spring-summer collection. So it seems to be, if it's a year-round scent, they might as well just stick it in a year-round collection, the way they have that sort of core silver lid White Barn collection of cotton, lemon, lavender, vanilla, frosted cupcake, those ones. To me, there's no reason why it can't just stay there if it's going to be a year-round scent. There's no problem with year-round scents. Yankee does it, many other candle companies do that. I just don't see why they're repackaging it seasonally when it comes to Peach Bellini or Caribbean Escape or some of the other scents. Anyhow, that's my little mini rant on that. So that goes for the Caribbean Escape and Peach Bellini. And then the other ones are I love Pink Sangria, some of the other ones, but I'll get those later. I wanted to get these ones because they're either scents that I truly love, or we've got a couple newbies that I wanted to test out and review for you. So first up, we've got Beach Cabana, which you'll note is returning from last year, which was part of the Boardwalk collection. This was actually one of my favorites from the collection, so I'm really happy to see that it's coming back. I actually thought it was one of the more unique scents, and I wasn't sure that people would love it, so the fact that it has returned in its original form with a new label, new wax, makes me very happy. So you see it's like a really nice sort of sky blue wax there, and you've got just, again, some Beach Cabanas, just little wooden shacks with a really intensely colored, almost like a neon fluorescent paint on those, and then the font is cute there with Beach Cabana. For the folks who are into the labels and the marketing of these, just so you know, these are not embossed or raised. They're sort of more of a matte finish on the labels, and they're the standard Bath & Body Works silver lids, or chrome lids maybe. The bottom notes on this read, the air under a Beach Cabana is filled with fragrant sweet jasmine, orange blossom, and a hint of fluffy white towels. So the notes read a bit differently than last year, but rest assured it is the same scent that you've come to know and love. And I'll just give a quick rundown of the scents that we already know. I'm not going to get too in-depth with those since you've most likely already smelled them. Oh, it's almost a little bit like a hint of cologne to me, with a little bit of like a fresh white musk to it. Slightly got a little bit of that suntan sort of feel to it, not as much as obviously the suntan candle did, but just really nice, not particularly floral, not particularly beachy necessarily. It's got a little bit of the ocean air to it. It reminds me a little bit of Beachside from a few years ago that had, I think, ylang ylang and orange blossom. And this one again, so they say sweet jasmine, orange blossom, and fluffy white towels. That's sort of, I don't really get anything soapy or super cottony or cloying the way that you get with some white towel scents or cottony scents. But I can see where they're talking about with that, and it's just a nice visual as well. So not a lot to say on that scent, since you probably have already smelled that, but really, really one of my favorites from last year, and I'm very happy to see that it's back. Then we've got what appears to be at first glance a brand new candle. It is Poolside. Again, really nice photo. You see why why I'm personally just sort of referring to it as the Southern California Retro Collection. Like a large hotel there with the sparkling waters and the chaise lounges all laid out with the towels. Really nice, intensely bright yellow wax here. Really nice, sort of pop art colors that are really bright with this collection. And the notes on this are lemon, orange, and tropical blossoms get a splash of coconut and a fragrance that revels in the cool side being poolside. I am very happy to report that this is actually suntan from the Boardwalk collection repackaged as poolside. Some folks may be disappointed that it's not a brand new scent, but I think there's going to be more of us that are really thrilled to see it coming out again in a 3-wick. Sorry, just taking a whiff of it. It's so good. So this is one that came out last year. We thought it may just be a test scent. It was part of the Boardwalk collection, but it only released in 4-ounce single-wick candles. Some people either love it or hate it. I loved it. It really did smell just like suntan lotion, with that really intense sort of bright coconut with a little bit of like a powderiness to it, not really a musk, like a powdery note to it that just really smells like a nice, not a cheap, nasty sort of, Coco Cabana kind of suntan lotion, but just a really strong, but yet I don't know what I'm going for here. It's strong and intense, but not overwhelming. Suntan-esque scent, and the notes being, they have some citrus in there. I don't get a lot of citrus. There's definitely some tropical blossoms, which is where you get sort of the brightness without it being fully a floral. It's the tropical blossoms without full-on petals and leaves and all that. And I don't really get a lot of coconut. Of course, most suntan lotions have some coconut in them, so it's there, but it's not in your traditional sense. This is much more one of those very conceptual fragrances that doesn't really, you're not getting a specific duplicate of something you find in nature necessarily, but it's a scent that evokes a feeling of summer or being poolside. So that they hit that one out of the park, in my opinion, and I'm thrilled to see that it's back, and hopefully it will go wide so that the suntan fans can get what they've been clamoring for. Next up is Coconut Leaves. This one's been around for a couple of years. Sorry, I'm sort of flying through these, but I want to make sure that I can get through these. All 12 of these without running on for an hour like I tend to generally do. Coconut Leaves, this is, I believe, its third year returning. It came out first in 2011, returned in 2012. Now the 2013 line, it's come back. I really like this label in wax better than last year's. It's just really kind of, again, it's beachy, it's a little bit retro, a little fun and cartoony, while still being sort of classy, because it is a true photograph and not just, a little, I don't know, a random pop, image or something. And the notes on this are: be transported to the tropics with this fusion of juicy tangerine, papaya, and jasmine that gives way to soothing coconut and vanilla notes. So lots of stuff going on here. Most folks have probably smelled this. I think it's pretty popular. I think most folks really enjoy it as well. It's coconut without being a standard tropical coconut. It's really like the milky, almost the coconut meat, as opposed to just this sort of general sweet coconut that you find in so many scents out there and at Bath & Body Works. It's a really sort of subdued creaminess, a little sweetness to the coconut. You've got the papaya in there to give it brightness. I believe what was it, tangerine? Was that the other note? Yeah, juicy tangerine. Definitely some vanilla in there as well to round it out and give it some warmth. For me, this is almost like a summer scent that I'll burn more in the evenings. It's not such a bright daytime scent, but a little bit darker and really sophisticated. And definitely some greenery from the leaves. I get why they're calling it coconut leaves and why I've always called it coconut leaves. There's definitely a green note in there as well. Not quite watery, but just a little bit of sort of vegetation to it as opposed to just bright, juicy, fruity, intense. So love that one as well. So far, 3 hits in a row with Beach Cabana, Poolside, and Coconut Leaves. And then the lone new fragrance from the collection of 10 that are currently in test stores for this sort of Southern California beach retro line, is Palm Beach Cooler. When I first smelled it, I didn't love it, but I wanted to get it for to review and to see if I liked it after a day or two, and I don't really. So it's a really intensely bright, kind of dark greenish wax, and then the image is of sort of a slushy, fruity drink that's been rimmed in like I think they're called nonpareils, just the little tiny crunchy candies that are used to decorate cookies or ice cream or things like that. The little not sprinkles, but just the tiny little hard candies. Which should have been a warning sign for me right away, because it's one thing to have sort of a tropical, fruity, sweet drink, but if you're throwing candy on top of it, that's going to be really sweet. The notes on it are: ready for a cocktail funshine? This blend of bright berries, sugared grapefruit, and fresh coconut is perfect for a day of serious lounging. Now, when you hear that, bright berries, sugared grapefruit, and coconut, fresh coconut, I think, okay, well, maybe it's along the lines of like the pink sangria, because we've got sugared berries in there and there's some citrus. Grapefruit tends to be really kind of an astringent, intensely, almost sometimes bitter citrus note that you can really pick out, and it stands out on its own when it's a note in a candle. So let me get a whiff of this. Now with this, I cannot express to you how incredibly disappointed I am with this candle. really, if I'm being honest, if I wasn't doing reviews, I probably wouldn't have purchased it. I'll give it a chance and I'll burn it. I don't think I'll return it. I very rarely return candles, only if they're really pooling horribly. I feel like if I bought it, I need to just deal with it and stick with it. It smells almost like nothing. It's truly such an incredibly light and generic scent that it's hard to describe. I get a little bit of a sweet melon, like maybe sort of like a candied honeydew. I don't really get berries. I get a generic sweetness. I almost get like a waxy, for lack of a better word, I'm sniffing wax, like a waxy sort of candied scent, almost similar, and this could be in my head, almost similar to those little tiny candies there. It almost smells like I'm just sniffing like a plastic container full of those. I don't know if this is a scent that'll surprise me when you light it, but it's just, I'm really trying to dig into it to see if I can get any sort of scent or fragrance to come out, and it's just very, very light, very generic, not really juicy, not really, yeah, just a little bit of a sweet sort of melon to it. I don't really get citrus, maybe some coconut, similar to a lighter, duller coconut than the kind you've got in the coconut leaves, so certainly not a standard coconut that you'd expect in a drink that's supposed to be berries, grapefruit, and coconut. So majorly disappointed in this one. I hope that it is a test scent and it does not go wide, because I don't think anyone would really be happy with it. So it's a shame, but it is what it is. So that is my overview of the first 4 from the SoCal Retro Candle Collection for Spring-Summer. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll get into the more floral and classic White Barn Candle Company scents. If you have questions about these or wish to have me get more in depth with any of this, please let me know. Comment below. I'd be happy to help you out. And until next time, take care. Thank you.